the sun's in my eyes, and there's Eamon.
Blinded.
Let me put on some sunglasses. Welcome back to the college football preview.
This is to show that we, in fact, have legs.
Yeah, we can stand.
Yeah.
We got started a lot earlier, and I mean, we thought why as well do it outside. So we could I don't know, we could I'll sit in your lap if that's okay.
I think that might be uncomfortable for both of us.
So last weekend we had ourselves a pretty
Uneventful.
Well, A&M showed us they had something in the tank.
Right.
Charlie Strong showed us that there are only two good teams in Florida, and they both start with U.
True.
And not end in U.
Yeah.
So that's USF and UCF are legit.
Yeah, the directional Florida schools are duking it out for the title of best Florida team this year.
Again, and that'll be the last game of the season as usual.
And then Stanford, to my dismay, showed that they're pretty legit this year.
Well, more importantly, I think USC showed us that they're incredibly bad.
Yeah, their quarterback is young, and they don't really. It's not going to be them this year.
Well, we play them in November, so Cal will beat them.
God, I hope so. Well, it's at USC though.
Well, yeah, it is at USC. Stanford got to play them.
I won't. I'm not going to be guaranteeing any Cal wins over USC until we've beaten them since 2003.
I'll guarantee that UCLA win, but beyond that,
yeah. UCLA looks like garbage.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe Chip will have something in the tank for next year. What else? The AP rankings were still stupid. The USC kept a rank somehow in both polls.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? But we don't run the polls. So what do you want us to do? We don't run them yet.
We're gonna get there soon enough.
Yeah, we don't run them yet. We'll run them one day.
Once people start seeing our videos, they'll be like, those guys need to be in charge.
We'll be on the playoff committee before you know it. It'll be Eamon, me, Condi.
Yeah, I'm kicking Condi out.
He's kicking Condi out.
Yeah.
These people are looking at us really weird. They're gone. All right. Anyway, let's. Should we step into the vehicle?
Yeah, it's getting a little breezy.
Yeah, let's do it. It's just me now. Oh God, Eamon, grab the receipt.
One thing we couldn't lose.
Yeah, the one thing that has all the information on it. Everybody look at my beard. Oh. All right, so
we back.
That's framing. That's me. Shit, do I not have anything to put behind it? I put my sunglasses behind it. Okay, let's stay on task. Yeah, there we go. That should work to some degree. Yeah,
that works.
Okay, just lean in.
Yeah.
All right, so due to this thing called a hurricane, I think it's something that's kind of swirly and wet. Much like a swirly.
Hurricane
swirly.
We all know what hurricanes are.
Do we?
Because of that song.
Oh yeah.
How did it go?
Is it the Scorpions, Rock You Like a Hurricane?
Well, there's that one. There's definitely that one. There's another one. There was we'll get back.
Wagon Wheel. Did I mention hurricanes?
That's what I was thinking of, is Wagon Wheel.
Eamon just loves Wagon Wheel. He sings along to it every time it comes on at the games.
Yeah, I'm basically Darius Rucker.
Anyway, so there's been a lot of games that were canceled, including the UCF game that me and Eamon wanted to use it as kind of a benchmark to see how bad would UCF beat UNC, because Cal beat them by 7.
I would guess pretty handily.
I think pretty handedly, too.
So that's a bummer that we're not going to be able to see that.
Yeah, but at least it's only getting postponed.
Right. We'll see it eventually. Yeah. There's bigger things out there than football.
Yeah, like a hurricane.
Despite what you might think.
Yeah,
thanks
Danny Cannell.
Yeah, Danny Cannell.
Hurricane actually is kind of a pretty good reason to not have a sports game, but sports thing, as I call them. Anyway, so we're going to Saturday. We're gonna go 12:30 p.m. because this is really a bad weekend. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games we can.
Yeah, we
recommend.
thought last week was slow. This is
worse.
This was looking pretty sparse.
And I'm sure it's not going to be the worst. So we're going to kick it off at 12:30, and we're going to do number 17 Boise State at number 24 Oklahoma State.
This one's pretty fun though, and Oklahoma State hasn't had any sort of test yet.
So two scrub games.
This is going to be their first test before they go into conference play, and it's funny you don't know. It's just kind of caught me off guard. I didn't even know they were playing each other this year. So
neither did I. I mean, it's not a matchup that we get on a regular basis. They're both teams that have been good the last few years. Boise State for a little bit longer than OK State.
I don't feel comfortable taking OK State since Gundy cut off the mullet, man. I just don't.
Why did he cut off the? I don't understand that.
No, man. It's
symbolic.
That's a recruiting tool more than first and foremost.
I mean,
come on, man.
Dude, I don't know. I mean,
do it for the memes.
This isn't rocket science, Mikey.
Yeah, sad.
I don't know. That was a fucking game-changing look. Game-changing.
Really was.
And
I wish I could fill the void. I wish I could grow my own mullet.
I'm trying. But
nobody wants to see the curly mullet fro. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, I mean, mine's just gonna curve up at the end anyway. Mike, if you got any tips, kick them our way.
So Boise State, on the other side of the field, set a program record for yards in their last game against UConn.
Passing or rushing?
All total yards.
Oh, fuck. How many?
Over 818 total yards. So, and Oklahoma State always likes to throw the ball too. So this game is going to be an absolute shootout.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's not a CFB record, but it's still pretty good.
No, I just said program record.
I mean, it's not close to a CFB record, but that's pretty damn impressive. The Blue Field versus the Rough Riders, the Rebel Riders, the something.
Cowboys.
The Cowboys. I knew it was something on a course.
Yes,
See? I'm smart.
And they're the Broncos.
The Broncos.
So yeah, this will be a fun one. I'm definitely gonna watch this one.
Yeah. Also at 12:30 though, and this is a little problematic. We got both these decent. Well, we got a.
Wait, what? How many stars are we giving that one?
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm gonna give it 4. I'm confident. I believe in the competitiveness of this game.
Cool. I'm gonna give it 4.5. Up the ante.
Holy shit.
Ante up, baby.
All right. You do your thing, Eamon. Also at 12:30 we have Louisiana State University, number 12, and they will be at Auburn, number 7. Haven't heard of either of these schools. Don't really know what they are, where they are. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. What is an SEC?
What's an SEC?
The Securities and Exchange Commission.
That's what it is, dude. It's this group of Southern boys who've been putting away Wall Streeters for 30 years.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, Auburn's so good. They beat Washington." Let's be real here, okay? Now you have to play an SEC opponent, okay? The SEC, despite how passionately I despise them, it is a conference that is separate from other conferences, especially the Pac-12. The Pac-12 and the Big 12 are kind of your bottom barrel shit conferences in the Power 5. Sometimes it's the Big 10. It alternates between the 3, really.
Yeah.
The ACC's been pretty consistently good for the last few years. SEC's been consistently good for decades now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like when, you're going to go take Washington from what I can say with the utmost confidence is a team from the worst conference in the Power 5 this year. And you're going to say that that's a big deal that Auburn beat them on a neutral site.
I would, yeah, you're probably right. I was going to say, I don't think the Pac-12 is worse than the Big 12, but they might be. I don't know.
They could be. I think they're going to get dragged down by, I don't want to get too off track, but they're going to get dragged down by Arizona and UCLA.
True.
And Oregon
Anyways.
State and Washington State.
Anyways, this is an interesting matchup between two teams that had somewhat surprising wins in week 1. Especially LSU. I mean, nobody saw them beating down the Canes like they did.
Yeah. And I'm really curious because I want to know if Washington and Miami are bad or if Auburn and LSU are good. And this is the game.
And this will determine who's like the main competitor to Alabama in the SEC. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, sure it will.
So I give this one 4.5 as well.
I give this. I'm gonna give this. Man, this is a tough decision because
you need to get out and walk around for a little bit.
Yeah, let me just leave. I'll be back. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna give it 4 even.
All right.
I don't have. Gus Malzahn's a bad coach, but I think Ed Orgeron may be a worse coach.
Yeah.
Pretty likely.
I think that's an accurate statement.
I have great fear that his team will come into Auburn and just be bewildered. So 4 even. 12:30, decent game. Bo Jackson opened a restaurant in the stadium, so if you're going to be there, hit it up.
I think we should give the edge to Auburn just for that.
Yeah, for real. You're going to have all these fans powered on barbecue.
Bo knows BBQ.
Bo knows beef.
Bo knows Yes.
Continuing down the list, at 1:15, we have Houston at Texas Tech. As you know, T-Tech does not know how to run the ball. They only throw the ball.
Yeah, no, this is just going to be an old-fashioned shootout.
Yeah, and who did Houston mollywomp last weekend?
I don't remember.
Arizona.
Arizona, yeah, they massacred them.
Yeah, they shreked Arizona last week. They're coming in hot to T-Tech. T-Tech has not had a loss in the first 2.
No, they're 1-1.
They are 1-1.
They demolished Lamar.
Yeah, it looked like a basketball game score.
Whoever that is. But they lost big time to Ole Miss in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wait, big time or?
Yeah, by 20 points.
Oh, fuck.
So, this
not
is
good.
Don't know what to think about old Coach Gosling and Texas Tech right now.
So, 3.5?
Yeah, I'd say 3.5. This is just good for points.
Yeah.
Hold you over in the mid-afternoon before we get to the bigger games of the night.
I mean, you got 2 games before this one that are going to be at the same time. So if both those games go south, which I don't think they maybe.
Yeah, or your cable cuts out and you just have one channel you can watch. I don't know.
If you have to have your son stand on the roof and hold the DirecTV dish.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you have that kind of day, then...
I know I've been there.
Except for it's Eamon's sister, and he's like, Roisin!
Yeah.
Get on the roof!
Yeah, that's why she can't hear anymore.
Yep. That's why she's really sunburnt. No, we'll stop making fun of Roisin. I'm sorry, Roisin.
She's not gonna watch this.
It's just because she's not here with us.
She's not gonna watch this. And certainly not gonna watch past 2 minutes of it.
Yeah, true.
Anyways.
Surprise! Number 4 Ohio State at number 15 TCU at 5 p.m. Yeah. How did Ohio State get stuck with a reasonably challenging game early in the season, Eamon?
God hates all of us. God is cruel.
Does he hate us all? Well, yeah, I mean, if he hates us because he's trying to get our hopes up here. He's like, oh, look, TCU, Ohio State, ooh, the boogeyman. And then Ohio State's going to crush these guys, and we're going to all cry, so.
Yeah, well, I so hope that they lose this.
They have questions at quarterback. That's the one dilemma.
I so hope that they lose this, and then they fall out of the top 5 or whatever by the time Meyer gets back, and then everybody's like, well, if he was here, then they would have been blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like,
if he was here, he shouldn't have been here all season, bitches.
Fuck that motherfucker. Yeah. Anyways, I think this will be a pretty good game.
I'm too scared. I'm giving it a 3.
Okay, I'll give it a 4.
I live in fear.
You do.
Yeah. I hate.
You're like Derek Carr.
I hate Ohio State. I hate them. And if you put me into a game against them as quarterback, I would freeze up and fall over.
I hate them more than most things.
Same. I hate a lot of things. Anyway, let's cruise down to the last game that we're gonna cover this weekend. Number 10, University of Washington. At number nothing, Utah. 7 p.m.
Yeah, and Utah didn't look great last week. I don't remember who they were playing, but it wasn't anybody that well known. Oh no, it was like Northern Illinois, who they've put out two of the best quarterbacks of recent memory, but that doesn't mean they're like good now.
Yeah.
So that was worrisome for one hand on Utah, but I feel like they bring it in big games.
They do, and they've struggled in the recent memory, but
I think this is only a 7-point line on this game, so
I think you're right. Yeah, so it's really more of a test for Washington than it is for Utah. Utah doesn't really have a prayer of winning the division. They don't.
Yeah.
They could at best hope for a 6-win season this year, but Washington is coming to altitude to play them. Mm-hmm. This is Washington. We've seen them implode before.
Washington's got something to prove. Everybody knows they're very talented and they've got a good coach. But they lost that first game to Auburn.
Yeah, I mean they didn't implode in that game.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
but
they played well.
Just as they played well in that playoff game against Bama a couple years ago. Or was that last year? Until they eventually sort of fell further and further behind.
And we saw them do that last year in a road game or two.
Yeah, but they do have something to prove that they're still one of the better teams in this conference.
Yeah. Because right now, me and Eamon are looking at the Pac-12, and we're thinking that somebody has a legitimate shot at taking Washington out as the leader of the North.
Yeah,
and probably winning the conference.
Oregon's back to being the talented team they once were, and Stanford, pains me to say it, but Stanford's really good. Cal's on the rise defensively, and McElwain's going to lead us back to greatness.
He just may. I think he'll be starting.
And then he's going to take Cal to the College World Series next year too.
Oh yeah, because he plays baseball as well. I forgot. Don't you blur out on me. So yeah, that's it. It's a small weekend, and we still won 17 minutes.
4 minutes or 4 stars for that one.
Yeah, I'll give that one 4 stars actually, because I think Utah's gonna give them a hard time. And Washington's like, we don't want a hard time.
Do it, Utes.
Yep, the Utes.
It's all about the Utes.
It's all about the Utes. It's been real. It's been legit.
Yep. And
we will see you next time. Hopefully for a fucking better set of games. I mean,
almost definitely. Yeah.
It can only go up from here, right? I mean,
stay tuned. Don't
go anywhere.
Don't leave us now.
Good games are on the horizon, coming to you soon.
If these games don't get better soon, I might just have to start taking my clothes off in the middle of these videos.
And I'm John.
I'm Eamon.
And he's Eamon. Farewell.